Hey, this is Aaron.
And this is Kristen.
This is Drive Mode Show. Hit subscribe. That was a long pause for the marketing message.
It was, but effective, right?
Yes, because it makes people think, wait, did I pause it? Was it an
We
accident?
froze.
So today, Kristen's going to tell us about the new Silverado ZR2. So this is the Chevrolet Silverado 1500 in its brand new ZR2 off-road package, which of course is one step better than ZR1.
Yes, it is. This is the first time that Chevy's offering the ZR2 package on the Silverado, and it is a beast. I mean, it's up there competing with the TRX, and I think it's not. It doesn't have the same amount of horsepower as the TRX, but it's meant to do some of the same things, and it's very much an off-road capable giant truck.
I feel like they made this to compete more with the Ford Raptor than it did with the TRX. And I also think that their point of competition is to come in with a lower price tag for a somewhat similar packaging. So it's not the same, it doesn't have the same amount of power and all the other stuff,
Right.
but it is a very capable off-road setup on paper because I haven't driven it. Kristen has, so we're going to be deferring to her most of the time. But I think that was kind of what they were aiming for, because the TRX, in all honesty, is really, really cool, but in the end it's a lot of ridiculousness because it's so over the top that
But I like that.
The actual need for this is so tiny. I can't think of anybody who actually needs it other than, maybe somebody who needs a street worthy monster truck, because it's just, so I think that their aim is a little more towards the Ford than it is towards the Ram. But it does come with the bigger engine.
It does. It has a 6.2 liter, 420 horsepower engine. So it's got plenty of get up and go. It does feel heavy though. It's a big giant truck, like I said, and all that horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque has to move it.
Well, you can see just by looking at it that it's lifted up. It's got beefier stuff happening underneath it. So there is stuff to make it physically bigger. So what all comes with the ZR2 package?
So it's got the Z51 off-roading package included, which means it's got front and rear differentials. It's got these massive 33-inch Goodyear Wrangler tires, and it has a lift. It's got big shocks in the back, like everything that you would want to take it off-road. Like, this is a working truck. This is something that somebody who lives in a kind of rough terrain, like maybe somebody in West Texas or somebody in Wyoming that needs to get from place to place, but they still want all of the good stuff and all the bells and whistles that you can get too.
Okay, so it has I know it has changes to the suspension dampers and springs, and also just looking at it, I can see the bumpers are different. So I assume they did that maybe for clearance.
I would think so, yeah. This particular Silverado that I have in my driveway right now, it has the tubes on the side instead of a step. So those are meant for high clearance too. And it's definitely, I mean, you could just look at it and tell that it's ready to tackle some big lips and rocks and things like that. I'd want to take it off-roading.
I know from the promotional stuff that they're showing it going over rocks and doing some fairly extreme looking things. So I assume that that's what a lot of those changes are for. It's to accommodate that stuff. The bumpers, I think the biggest difference that I remember seeing is the end caps are different, and that's probably, thinking about them, to give more clearance actually for the tires that are behind them. Just because if you're going to have those big a tire that's that large, you're going to be trying to run into things that are exponentially larger, and that's going to mean that you need the bumper to be out of the way for that. So
Right.
you're looking at a 6.2 V8. That's what you said, right?
That's right.
Versus
It's a good sized engine.
that's available in other trucks in the Silverado 1500 lineup, but it's usually only in the high end packages. The most people I think are getting the I forget the cylinder displacement, but the smaller 8 or the 4.3 V6 or the diesel. I believe there's still a diesel option. So that's pretty amazing, because you think about that big 6.2 at 420 horsepower versus the turbocharged 6 that is in the Ford, and it's getting about the same. And I just wonder if the feel is different. You've driven both, so I wonder, does the ZR2 feel a lot different to drive versus the Raptor?
Yes, I would say so. I would say the Silverado feels heavier. The Raptor definitely feels like it can get up and move a little bit quicker. And I don't know the difference in weights. We can definitely look that up.
So the Silverado 1500 in the ZR2 package is still a full-size truck, so people will expect it to have full-size truck capability, which
Right.
means they're going to want to hook up a trailer. So what's the towing on this?
It can tow, now Chevrolet says it can tow up to 8,900 pounds, and it has a really smart placement of the trailer brake. So I drove the new Toyota Sequoia recently, and it also has a trailer brake, but it's kind of underneath the steering wheel, so you have to feel for it. With the Silverado, it's placed perfectly, so it's right here in the corner of your eye, and it's easy to find. That's important.
Yeah. Ram has figured that out, and now Ford has. I saw it in the latest Ford, and I bet you that same trailer brake controller is what I saw in the Silverado 2500. Very similar, and it's a really smart placement because, like you said, you can sort of see it, so you don't have to look away or grip for it.
Yeah, that's important, along with the camera angles. It's got all the different kinds of camera angles, and I think GMC has done this really well with the Sierra. You can see the top, you can see the bed of your truck if you were.
You anticipated my next question was the cameras for hooking up.
Yes, there's your front camera, and they're very clear, and the resolution's very good. So you've got your front camera, back camera, sides, top of the bed. Like I said, so if you're towing a fifth wheel, you could see how it's doing back there. Lots of different places to see what's going on with your truck.
Is the multi-flex tailgate available on that?
It is. This does have the multi-use tailgate, and I like it because then you can just fold down the top half if you want to shove something in there, or if you could hang some planks out if you need to, or you can open the whole bed. And this one has a cover on it, so it's almost like an SUV in that it's keeping all your stuff dry.
Yeah. I think my favorite part of the Multi-Pro, if you're GMC, Multi-Flex, if you're Chevy, is that you can open it and drop down that little front section, and it step into it and reach, gives you about an extra foot of reach into the bed, which seems like a dumb thing until you use it, and then you realize how useful that is, because everything seems just out of reach every time.
Yeah, I think people scoffed at that as a gimmick when it first came out, but it has a lot of usability features that Chevy found out from their customers. This is what they need. Yes.
So next up, infotainment and radio. How are those in there? Do the big tires, specifically what I really want to know is, do the big tires make too much noise?
It's fairly noisy inside. You have to turn up the volume to a decent amount to be able to hear what's happening with your audio system. It's a Bose, so Bose is okay. It's fine. It also has the behind the steering wheel controls that I like. It's not quite as robust as the Jeeps do. It can change the volume on this side. It can change the channels by favorites on this side. It doesn't allow you to change it station by station. So if I want to change from like channel 9, 90s to channel 12, I have to go in, I have to look at the touch screen, push the arrow button, and then flip it over. I mean, so I think there's a little bit too much touch required, or if you had the tuning knob, I could just twist it.
Mm-hmm. What about roominess? I assume you have a crew cab.
It is a crew cab, and that it's very roomy. I think anybody at your height or bigger could easily fit in the front or the back. The back was very roomy, and it has heated seats in the back. This one does. It also has a USB-A and a USB-C port for the backseat passengers. And in the front, I also like that it's not hidden in the console. The USB-A and USB-C are right there. I can access them really easily, and I don't have to fumble with, oh, where is it? You know, it's not hidden anywhere. I appreciate that it's front and center.
That's good news. What about for somebody your height getting in and out of it? Because you're about what, 5'6"?
I'm 5'5". Yeah, it's definitely, I definitely need a little extra help to get in. I have to pull on the, you know, the handle or the steering wheel to hop in. Even those rails, the high rails are a step up for me. I think it would be even for you though to get in, you know.
Yeah.
But you want that when you're off-roading. If you're taking some heavy duty rocks, you're gonna want that kind of ground clearance.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to walk a line when you're putting things like rail steps on. How low are they going to be? Because the lower they are, the less clearance you have, and that means your breakover is lower. So you have to kind of find the spot, the balance.
Right.
So, but I just wondered about that because, you know, there's almost a foot of difference between myself and you and how we're getting in and out of things. So somebody like me, jump in. Somebody like you or Tim Esterdahl would have to struggle. Somebody like Jill, we'd have to knot a rope and throw it down to her. So
We'd have to like give her a boost. Yeah. Jill's 5 feet tall, in case you guys haven't heard of her. But yeah, and she would drive it. It's fun to drive. It's really big. It's hard to see over the front because the front is so beefy. It's a big engine, and so those front cameras come in handy for that.
okay. Since we're on the subject there of off-road, this features a new thing that I haven't heard of before: one pedal off-road driving, which is taking from the playbook of electric cars, where you can literally drive the car with just the throttle; it brakes itself. And this works like a replacement, I understand it, for hill descent, right?
Right, and it makes it more accessible for people who want to learn more about off-roading, who may not be a pro at it. You know, it gives you some peace of mind that your car can help you, or your truck can help you go downhill or uphill without having to do too much with it. It really modulates your speed.
Mm-hmm. What about trailering as far as can you get the package that Chevy now has that will allow you to steer the trailer? Like now Ford and Ram both have that, and GM just started rolling that out. I wonder if it's available for this.
That I don't know.
No? Okay.
That we should check.
I'll look it up and put it on the screen. I just thought of it because I just realized that it was in that 2500 I drove. And for a lot of people, that's another stepping stone with a pickup truck is backing up a trailer. If you only do it once or twice a year, you're not going to be terribly good at it, and you're going to be nervous because you're going to think you're not good at it.
That's true.
Systems really take care of that nervousness, make you look.
Yeah,
pro.
you know, I'm
But
looking
going on
at
a racetrack in a Nissan GTR, it doesn't matter how bad you are, you look like a pro.
Okay, so it does have the trailering package with hitch guidance, which is really helpful when, like you said, when you don't trailer very often.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't trailer with this one, you know, so I didn't get to try it out, but I've definitely tried it out on other Chevrolet vehicles, and it's helpful.
Anything else about this truck that you think people should know about?
Well, I think it's affordable. Really, it starts at 65-ish, you know, without some of the extras. I mean, this one, it's got the special rails on the side and some other small things that added on. It goes up to 72. But still, for a truck this capable for off-roading, I think it's a good deal. It's a good value.
Mhm.
And although it's big and it feels big, it also feels extremely capable. You know, I would take this off-road and not worry about it being able to ford water or to climb rocks. And those tires are they're
Yeah.
really impressive.
Well, just looking at it, it looks really great, and all the capabilities that it has, it is a little more towards rock crawling than, say, the Raptor is, and definitely more than the TRX, because the TRX honestly is more about how many bowls can you fit in the china closet, and this is a kind of a almost special made, but not really, almost a specialty truck. And it just, I like the look of Chevy now. The Silverado has a really good look.
Yeah, it does. It's a beautiful truck. It has presence and it has personality.
Mhm.
And I think they've improved some of the features and figured out what's going to make the most sense. I think the placements of the knobs and the buttons are very clever, and it's got more than enough power and towing capability to suit most anybody.
Mhm. So there you go. This is we've been talking about the brand new 2022 Chevrolet Silverado ZR2. So this is the
Yep,
1500 package with the ZR2, which is now its own thing. It's a very cool.
it's good. Yes, it's good.
I like how you said that. It's good.
It's good.
All right, this is Aaron.
And this is Kristen.
This is Drive Mode Show, and it was good.